One time, I was dating this stripper, and the stripper had like a super fancy car that she had gotten, like a brand new car.
Yes.
And when I met her, on the back, she had one of those.
Did you pay for it?
No, please.
Okay.
Well, maybe in dollars. $1 at a time, I paid for it. She had when I met her, I was working at the gas station at night. And and her friends came in.
I remember the story. Not the specific story, but yes.
They came back from the late shift, and I was on my late shift, and, we were supposed to lock the doors. It was really at our discretion, but they told us to lock the doors.
Yeah.
And so I let these two girls right in. I was like, this looks like a barrel of monkeys right here. I'm letting these girls in. And man, was it the worst decision I ever made. One of the worst decisions I ever made. But anyway, so on the back of the car, I'll never forget, it had tag applied for, handwritten in her horrible handwriting, and then kind of like, masking taped on there, right? Where the license plate was supposed to be. Which typically you do when you get a new car and they haven't yet sent you. Well, this never happens anymore.
Well,
they have a whole electronic system. But we're talking about 26 years ago.
Right.
Okay? So one day, I'm now living at her house, and she is sleeping with another man.
The gardener, right?
The gardener. She was sleeping with the landscaper. And she told me directly. She was like, no, you don't even have a place to live. So you could sleep with me in my bed, but I'm going to fuck this guy instead. Whatever, it's a long story. Anyway, so one day I was driving. She liked to go get cigarettes or whatever, and I get pulled over. And the officer explains to me, at the time, he says, this tag is actually the tag has been sent, but it's been canceled because the check bounced. They wrote a check, it bounced. So it turns out my stripper girlfriend actually took the plate off the car because they had already pulled her over a number of times for the check bouncing. Right? So I get this ticket. Well, and then there's no insurance on the car because, of course, there's no insurance on the car. It's not registered, right? Legally, it's not registered. Fast forward 15 years later, and I get pulled over in the same county I totally forget to go to court on. I had bigger fish to fry, like Where to Live and 33P's Big Concert or Chopper Johnson or whichever band I was in. And I was just I was like a derelict human being, right? And so fast forward to 15 years later, I get pulled over in that county.
Yeah.
And they're like, you never showed up to court for this. So the officer did not arrest me, but it became this big ordeal. And I had to show up to court.
Yes.
And so the judge, who at the time was probably 5 years younger than I was, I was like this, supposed to be this grown-ass man showing up to court. And this judge is like, well, thank you, Mr. Green, for showing up to court.
This time.
And the judge was hot, too. And I was like, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.